Well, thank you very much for to everyone for watching this presentation about Abbotsford School District in the city of Abbotsford in British Columbia. We have a special guest today. His name is Dave Ryder. He's in charge. He's the coordinator of this the international program at Abbotsford, and he will explain to us everything we need to know when it comes to um, sending our children to Abbotsford, right? And he's got like a very important information to tell us. I mean, Abbotsford is a safe city. British Columbia is a fantastic province, and Canada is a great country that is constantly receiving students from all over the world, right? So, without further ado, Dave, thank you very much for your time for being here with us. I know you're very busy with international students nowadays, but I mean, thank you very much again.
No, no problem. Always glad to have a chance to share the information. So I appreciate the opportunity, Christian. So
Thank you.
yeah, so well then let's get started. I'll share my screen and I can start explaining a bit about the program here.
Please go ahead.
All right. So the big question is, there's a lot of different destinations that students can choose. It could be in Australia, New Zealand, the UK, the United States, or Canada. So in all of those places, there's lots of schools, lots of cities. So the big question is, why would you choose Abbotsford? Why would you choose our program? So there's a few really good reasons. And one of them is the location. So we are located on the west coast of Canada, and we're right at the border with the United States. So we're in the province of British Columbia, and the city of Abbotsford has 150,000 people. So it's not a huge city by any means, but also it's not too small. It has everything you can find in the bigger cities. So it has great shopping malls, it has great movie theaters and virtual arcades and escape rooms and recreation facilities. So really anything that you could find in Vancouver or another big city, you can find it in Abbotsford too. So you won't be isolated. So now the city of Abbotsford is located here, and it's exactly 1 hour from Vancouver. So to drive by car from Vancouver to Abbotsford is 1 hour, sometimes even a little bit less, sometimes more if there's traffic. But so the nice thing is the students are living and studying here in our city. But if they would like, they can still go and visit Vancouver on the weekend. So students do that. They take the bus and they can go in and they can have a day in the big city, but they're not living in the big city. So our community is very nice that way in that it really does feel like a community, and people get to know each other. It's the kids can go out walking and so on. So it's a great place to live and to learn.
So Dave, I have one
Mhm.
question regarding Abbotsford.
Sure.
Some of the parents we've noticed, I mean, parents from Chile, from Colombia, from Ecuador, even from Spain, they are looking. It's very common for them to say something like, "We're looking for the real Canadian experience," So
Mhm.
sometimes they choose like these second tier cities,
Yeah.
rather than big metropolis where, because sometimes students get overwhelmed there. It's like the hustle and bustle of the big city, and sometimes parents choose these second tier cities like Abbotsford, so would you agree with something like I tell them that it is the right way to do, because the pace of living in these cities is a bit slower. They might get a better connection with the parents, with the host family, which is a very it's a critical aspect for the parents. So what would you say about that?
Yeah, I would say you're exactly right. I do think that in a smaller program, it is a little bit more personalized because with there's not being as many students, we can focus our attention on them. So I think they get more personalized service that way. And generally, because it's not such a big region with such a dense concentration of people, yeah, people do get more of an opportunity to get to know each other. You are more part of the community, and that's feedback that we hear from our partners around the world. So yes, I would say you're absolutely correct.
And another thing that I hear all the time that I want to um to express the parents about Abbotsford. It's all the nature that they have access, on this city. I've heard beautiful things about the Fraser Valley, all the activities that they could go. So if the students love to be, like in a very natural environment where they could do outdoor activities, Abbotsford is definitely an option to consider.
For sure. So what I'd like to do is just show, this is just a 1-minute video, and it
Please go
gives
ahead.
you just a really quick impression of the city and the shops and everything, but also the natural side and the outdoor activities that you just mentioned. So we'll have a quick look at this just so people have a visual impression. So it is in a beautiful setting surrounded by mountains. We have good infrastructure with the same shops, the same movie theaters, the same restaurants. We've got a modern hospital. We've got very comfortable uh, um, residential areas, good sport and recreation facilities. Um, and we are surrounded, as you talked about, by nature. So we can take our students on all these activities. We organize events throughout the year so that our students can go skiing and mountain biking, rock climbing, scuba diving, sailing. There's all sorts of events that they can do throughout the year. So yeah, so it's a nice sort of combination of city and country. So they're getting the best of both worlds.
Looks fantastic. And Dave, tell us more about how are the schools selected for the students, and also if you then can talk about the homestay.
Sure. Now, just before we do that,
Yes.
one of the other things that we do, because we want the students to know more about the region around the area, so we do take them on the ferry over to Victoria, which is a beautiful capital city. We take them on a day of tourism into Vancouver, and we just got back. Last Friday, we went skiing at Whistler, it's a beautiful mountain. So we make sure that the students get out and they see in the region.
Wow, that's fantastic. This is a very important thing, the students, to get involved, and with the province, which is a very popular province in Canada when it comes to outdoor activities. So they will, with these activities that you just mentioned, I'm pretty sure they will grasp an idea. They will have these taste in the mouth about British Columbia, and probably they wanted to come for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's a lot of opportunities to get out and do something, and also that when you're doing something together with other students, that's when you connect and make friends.
Exactly.
And these activities are all done with Canadian students. They're going and doing those activities, and the international students come with them. So we try to make sure that our international students get connected with the local community.
Wow, amazing.
So the schools in the city, we have 4 high schools that we use for our international programs. So all of our schools are on the semester system, which means that in a year, the students will complete 8 courses. In the first semester, they study 4 courses and they complete them. And in the second semester, they do 4 different courses and they complete them. So it's a very focused way of studying.
All right.
And it also allows a lot of flexibility in the timetable. So students have more opportunities to get the courses that they might choose.
And Dave, I have one question when it comes to courses. So let's say a student, I believe they have 2 options. One option is to attain course credits, to bring back to their countries. And
Mhm.
sometimes they just want to have like this exchange, in cultural exchange, this
Yeah.
international experience. In that case, would the student, they will take like tests and exams, or they're just hearing. Tell us more about that, briefly, about the difference of these 2 options, these 2 experiences.
Sure, of course. So yeah, we have some students who come just for 1 semester and they're just
Yes,
coming for an experience. Some students stay for 2 or 3 years and they will graduate. So we can accommodate whatever someone would like. Experience, graduation, no problem.
okay.
In all cases, students do have to do tests and exams. They have to participate fully in the classes that they take. They have to
Amazing.
show up. Yeah. So it's not just being in the classroom and watching. It's no, you're there participating. Some students do have to take certain credits back home to their country. So maybe a math, a science, a geography, or a history, something. So if we know in advance, we can make sure that the students will take those credits home and they don't miss any of their time at home. But while students are with us, or if they're just coming for an experience, they can take elective courses. And those elective courses are anything from law to pilot training to
Wow.
cybersecurity to film to 3D design for engineering and architecture, digital art,
Sports, I
animation,
believe, right? Sports like soccer.
sports. Yep, absolutely. So there's a number of sports academies. So students can take soccer or golf or ice hockey or baseball or basketball as a subject, and they're training very hard. So we have, it's a really good opportunity for students to try uh, a, a variety of different classes or subjects so that they can see, what do I want to do in the world? You know, they might
Yeah.
decide, hey, I never thought about being an engineer, but I love it. I'm really good at it. Or I thought I'd be a lawyer, but that doesn't appeal to me so much.
Yeah, I
So,
totally agree with you. And this is something that we mentioned at YICAS to each and every parent, that education in Canada is completely different to what most of the education in Latin America is. You know, in Latin America, it's a very, sometimes unflexible, it's a very strict way of studying, whereas when the students comes to Canada, they will have the opportunity to, to taste different things. Each school, has different strength, depending on the student's profile and the student interest. It will be assigned or apply for different schools, and there they can exploit their whole potential, and then they come back home and say, hey mom, I would have never imagined that I went to a law class, where I thought it was only in university, and I think this is something that I wanted to study at home. So this is the kind of things that really, really makes Canada, and in this case, Abbotsford, a great opportunity for the students to be more independent and to, to have the chance to taste different areas of different subjects, that could help them make a choice in their life.
no, absolutely. And, and this is, what we do is we typically will have a conversation with our partners when they're sending us a student, and we'll say, well, what does this student want to do? Are they interested in trying any particular subjects? And then, although, for example, art is available at all of our schools, there are one or two schools that are even stronger than normal, or they might have a specialized program in robotics, or so we'll try to find the school that will give the student the opportunity to do the courses that they would really like to do.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So, yeah. So so one of the things that I can show you are some of the programs that we have available. And on our website, you can see videos of each of our schools. You can see their Instagram accounts and the websites, and there's information that you can download too, so you can get more information. But yeah, some of the courses that we have, advanced placement, those are university level courses that
All
are
right.
available in high school. So you can get credit. So when you go to university, you're a step ahead, which is very helpful. We have the International Baccalaureate program. So this is a program that is offered all around the world, and it's a very challenging curriculum, but it's a great university preparation curriculum.
Yeah. Sorry,
Mhm.
Dave. I think, yeah, for parents to have an idea, international baccalaureate, as Dave was mentioning, is a more strong academic program designed for students that do really want to get to be admitted at the university level. So it's more challenging. It prepares the student to be ready for for the academic level at university.
That's right. Yeah, no, for sure. So it is demanding, and it requires a very self-motivated type of individual learner. So someone who's who participates strongly in the class. So it's not for everyone, but for the
Yes,
right student, it's an amazing opportunity.
I agree.
Yeah, so these are some of the things we have, really strong engineering and architecture, animation, pilot training, journalism, cybersecurity, robotics, TV and film. So these are all, very good career paths for students. And, it's a great chance to get started on that career path early.
Great.
One of the things I would like parents to know is that the education in our region is very strong. There is a global study of high school students, and they look at high school students reading, writing, and their reading, writing, math, and science. And of all of the high school students in the world, Canadian high school students were number 6. The students in our province were ranked number 3 in the world. So we were behind Hong Kong and Singapore.
Wow.
So the quality of education, even if you're not doing the IB International Baccalaureate program, is still going to prepare you for a very high level.
Congratulations,
Of
Dave.
all of the well, wasn't me, but I'm
I
proud to be
know.
part of the
But
system.
you're part of
Yeah,
the system, of course, and I
yeah,
know you put a lot of effort in this. Yes.
yeah. So it's, of all of the English speaking countries, Canada performed better than all the other English speaking countries. And I think often people assume the United States has, great high schools, and they have some amazing high schools, absolutely. But the overall difference between us is quite significant.
Yeah.
So parents should know that our students get a very good education, and they go on to great universities across Canada, across the US, and around the world.
Fantastic.
So while the students are here, it's really important that they get good support. So even if we have a really nice community, even if we have really great schools, the most important part is who will help the students while they're here. So they're a long way from home, they're away from their family, they need help. So we'll look at a couple of things here. First of all, it's very important that they're comfortable in their home. So we have our own homestay program, and we are responsible for finding the homes, inspecting them, interviewing the families, making sure that their security checks are in place. So we work hard to choose good families and to make sure that we know the families. One of our requirements is that families must speak only English, so that your student will be in a house with English speaking families. And not all areas, especially often the bigger cities, can't always offer that. So the families are responsible for providing a comfortable, supportive place to live while the students are studying in our schools. So they provide 3 meals a day. They provide, of course, a private room. There's never a shared room. The students always have their own individual room.
Great to
Uh,
hear that. Yes.
and it's not a dormitory. We don't have a lot of students. We have a maximum of 2 international students in a home, and they'll always have different languages. So we would never have, for example, say a Mexican student with a Colombian student. Wouldn't
Yeah.
happen. Always different languages. So yeah, and the families, we expect that they will help give the students a ride to go meet their friends for coffee, or to the gym sometimes. So we need them to support the students that way. And we also need them to, yeah, we expect them to take them out on activities from time to time and do different things. So it's not just a hotel stay, it should be a homestay. And we expect the students will treat it as a homestay too, and that it's not that these people are their servants or their entertainers. We expect that the students help out around the house, help wash the dishes, or, maybe help prepare the food, or walk the dog sometimes. They're part of that family, and they should be home eating dinner with the family together. That's when people connect and talk about the day. So yeah, we expect the students to also participate in the home as part of the family too. So yeah, so that's the most important part. Most of our homes are all around the schools, so they're in the neighborhoods surrounding the schools, so students can walk to school usually in 20 minutes or less. Most Canadian kids walk to school. So if they're going to be a little bit further than that, then if they're going to be taking the bus, we want it to be like 20 minutes or less. We don't want long trips for the kids to get to school.
And Dave, I have
Yeah,
one question. You were mentioning about the proximity and to the school, and right now I think I received one of your notifications that the spots, the availability for the homestay right now is a bit tight.
yeah,
And when do you think is the best time for students to apply? Let's say, I'm pretty sure that for September 2022, it's very, very difficult right now. It will be very
yeah,
challenging to find a spot. But let's say parents are planning for September 2023. I mean, when do you think is a good time for them to start preparing all this trip, the application, for them to have, I believe it's first come, first serve when it comes to accommodation. Yeah.
yeah,
And tell us more about it. Yes.
yeah. So in the past, typically we had homestay spaces right up until the end of March, sometimes into April. But recently, I think because of COVID, there's a lot of people who are traveling now because they couldn't travel before.
Yes.
So we're seeing a big influx of people right now. So this year we filled up our schools in by at the end of February.
Wow.
So it was much earlier than normal. So oops, volume. Can you hear the music here, Christian? Is it too loud or
No, I cannot hear it.
okay, perfect. So yeah, so I think the best time if you really want to be guaranteed a spot would be uh, say in February.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, in February, best time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good to hear.
you have to get organized or I just thought while we're talking, I could show a picture. The other thing that by applying early, you're more likely to get the courses that you want. You're more likely to get a homestay that's close to your school, um, and get the school of your choice. So though there is a good incentive to apply early.
I totally agree with you. And Dave, tell us about the tuition fees and what is included, and tell us a
Yeah,
bit more about it.
sure. So the fees, here we are. So we're now looking at
Yes.
2023, 2024. So for a whole year, the total is $27,200. And that includes the application fees, the program fee, which includes the education, the medical insurance, and all of the textbooks. This amount, 27,200, also includes the homestay fee for the whole year and airport pickup service. So this price is pretty much all inclusive. Some of the additional costs that you would see would be for example, if we go skiing or if we go to the Rocky Mountains or some events like that. So,
And how much
so
do you think for a student that goes for a semester, a good amount of pocket money would be like would I know it changes for every student needs, but I mean
yeah, yeah.
something yeah, in a ballpark that.
I would say $300 a month would be pretty reasonable.
Okay.
A movie is say $20.
I know.
To go out for, just kind of a normal dinner is maybe $25.
Okay.
A bit of shopping, traveling around. I think $300 would be pretty
Makes
generous.
sense. I totally
Yeah.
agree with you. And when it comes to the insurance, Dave, I believe insurance, it's included, but sometimes parents are hesitant, and they have very, they're concerned about what is included. What I tell them is like the insurance is a product, is a package designed specifically for the needs of the student, for international students. So when they come here to Canada, they have nothing to worry. Whereas sometimes if they come, I believe the insurance is completely mandatory, in order to avoid, any problems or confusion. But sometimes I tell the parents, if they come with a Latin American insurance and they go to a Canadian hospital, there might be, maybe some inefficiencies when it comes what it's covered, what is not covered, if the student have to pay something. So these products are designed for the total
Yeah.
safety of the students, so they should not worry about anything. They're well covered by this insurance. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, I think you described it perfectly there, Christian. And also, it depends a little bit on how long the students are coming for.
Yes,
If they're coming for just one semester, then they're on a private insurance policy that is used by almost every high school program in, I think, Canada and the United
I
States.
know.
It's
Yes,
called
yes.
GuardMe. It's very comprehensive, and it includes, if parents need to fly in for an emergency or something, it covers all of that. If students come for a year, it's mandatory that they become part of our public medical insurance.
All right.
And if that happens, then for the first 3 months, they're on the same private program as we
Okay.
just described. But for the rest of the year, they're on the public one. The public one is great because it covers, if you go to the hospital or whatever, you don't pay anything. You just show them your card and in you go. Excuse me.
It's okay.
However, the public one does not cover, for example, in an emergency for the parents to fly,
I know.
things like that. So if they're coming for longer and they're going to be on our public insurance, it can be a good idea for the parents to purchase an additional one
A
to
complimentary
cover the
one, yeah.
things that our public one doesn't.
And I understand what you're saying about these for the first 3 months, and then the rest of the stay. Does this public health card, does it have a cost for them?
So that's included in the program
All
fee.
right, all right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it's
just that
all.
it's so the product changes. All right, all
Yeah,
right. I totally get it. Yeah, it
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense, and the public. I mean, it's important for international students and parents to understand that in Canada, when you hear the word public, is the best, Whereas in Latin America, when you hear the word public, people start, to have second thoughts, might be good. Education, the public education in Canada is the best, the government invests a lot of money and resources to have the best education in the world, the best facilities, the best professors, the best teachers, and same for the health system. It's the best facilities out there. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe here in Ontario there are very few, if there's any, private clinics or private hospitals. Because it would be very difficult to
Yeah.
to compete with the government. So when you hear the word public here in Canada, you can be 100% sure it is the best of the best.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think we're fortunate to have a good public system, and it does provide good care for our students.
I agree with
And
you.
and speaking of care for the students, this is, I would say, the last and the most important part is additional support. So I think in all places, students can get help. They can get help from their teachers, the counselors in the schools, the vice principals. They can call the international office for help. They can call their homestay coordinator. There's a lot of people who can help, but often the students might not know where to find those people, or they might not feel comfortable to
Yes.
talk to these people and ask for help. And if they have a little problem and they don't ask for help, it becomes a big problem.
I
and
know,
we
yeah.
don't want big problems. So we have an additional team of international student support workers. So we have 8 ladies, and their only job is taking care of our international students. So they have different languages. We have a lady who takes care of our Japanese students. We have a lady who takes care of our Chinese students. This lady in the red mask takes care of Korean students. And the lady in the blue mask, her name is Christina. She takes care of our Spanish speaking students. So Christina is from Mexico, and her job is to make sure that all of our Spanish speaking students know where they can get help. So she visits the 4 schools all through the week. She's constantly in the schools. The students have her WhatsApp, her cell phone number, so they know if they have questions about anything, their courses, how do I join the rugby team? I want to go skiing. Can I go to Vancouver on the weekend? I'm having trouble with my homestay. They know they can talk to Christina. And the best part is they can explain their situation in Spanish. It's really important that, when students are nervous or anxious, that we understand why they're nervous or anxious.
Yes.
So this part is really important, and it's one of the things that our partners and our parents and our students say they really like about our program, is that we have a lot of help. So this is critical, I think.
I totally agree with you, and it shows the level of commitment that
Mhm.
Abbotsford is showing for the international students. And I believe that having this level of personalization, when the students can express themselves in their own language, is something that makes their life way easier. What we've
Yeah.
noticed is that sometimes um, the students have access to us as well, and the parents, and sometimes the students are hesitant to talk to maybe to their teachers
Yeah.
or their host families, host parents, and they will come to us, well, I don't know how to handle this situation, and of course we can give him a hand, but having this person, on the ground that could help give him a hand, it's something that is very valuable. Well, Dave, I believe you've made a great presentation. All the resources are online. And it's important to mention to all the parents that what JICAS does, all these, the service for applying and arranging all this program, whereas is the visa with our IRCC consultant, talking with Dave, accommodation, sorting out all their doubts, it comes to a no additional price or fee. With the fees that you saw, that Dave showed to you, it's the same price. The way it works is like yeah, when students arrive, Abbotsford covers our honoraries, so you can be assured that our success, your success is our success. So you have a team, it's myself, whereas is Vanessa, whereas is Beatrice. We have a team, Jimena in Chile. Is a team that wants your success, because otherwise it will be a waste of time. So thank you very much for coming and for watching this video. I'm not sure, Dave, if you have any last comments, if you would like to say, add something to the presentation.
No, I would just like to say, yeah, thanks for the opportunity. And yeah, I think you're in good hands if you work with Chaikos. And we're very impressed with all of the communication and back and forth we've had with Christian. I think he knows the programs really well and can provide really good support and information. So even if you're not coming to Abbotsford, I'm sure he'll find the right program and provide you with great service. So yeah,
Thank you,
choose
David.
Abbotsford.
Thank you, Dave. I mean, you've been great, providing all the support and answering all of the questions, very promptly. And this is something the parents also appreciate. Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a reason where we're bringing this presentation for the parents, so they can see by themselves. This is like a winner product. This is something that can really have a really positive impact on the student's life, and of course in our partnership as well. So thank you very much, David. I look forward to send more students to Abbotsford, and once again, thank you very much for your time.
Great. Thank you. All
Bye
right.
bye,
Take
Dave.
care.
Take
Okay.
care.
Ciao.
Oh.